There are so many books in 2023 that I'm excited for, and I'm sure there'll be even more than these. So, yes, please. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silka, and today I will be talking about some 2023 releases that I'm excited for. I do have quite a long list. Last year, what I did was highlight the 5 books that I'm most excited for and talk more in depth about those, and then mention the rest. And I'm going to be doing the same thing this year. I have done like 3 bullet points for the rest of the book, so I'm just going to be going through those and just quickly talking about that. I do also have a couple that don't have covers yet, so I'm just not going to insert anything there, but I'll do those last. First up, and probably also the book that I'm most excited for, is Blood Debts by Terry J. Benton Walker. So this basically follows 2 twin siblings that has like fallen out of touch with each other, and it is set in New Orleans. There has been this massacre, like a magical massacre, and in the days after that massacre, the crown, like the queen's crown, was stolen. So on the anniversary of this brutal event, we follow Clement and Christina, who are 16-year-old twin heirs to this powerful, magical but dethroned family. They are mourning their father, and their mother is sick, until by chance they discovered that their mother is actually not sick, but she is cursed. So we follow Christina, who is very talented, but she has given up magic for good, since she is the reason that their father died, due to the fact that an ancient spell went wrong and killed her father. Then we have Clement, who uses magic as like his lifeline. That is what gets him through the death of his father and the fact that their mother is sick. They used to be the best of friends, but now they don't speak to each other. But they need to, in order to figure out what is going on with their mother and a lot of other stuff that happens in New Orleans. I am just beyond excited for this book. It seems like such a fun sibling dynamic. And also the fact that it is siblings that hate each other and that they need to get over their differences to work towards this common goal. Also, I really enjoy books that take place in New Orleans, or books that have that New Orleans vibe. So I'm so excited to see where this book goes. And honestly, the cover is stunning, and I can't wait. Next up, we have The Piper's Promise by Leah Sipis. This is the 3rd book in the Sisters Ever After. I believe I've talked about it before, and I accidentally said that it was like a Rapunzel retelling. It is not. It is the Pied Piper. We follow Claire, and Claire's brother Tom is basically known as the Pied Piper that steals children away. Claire knows only half of the story, but she is convinced that her brother is not as evil as he is perceived to be. She knows that he's not the easiest person to love, but she is absolutely certain that he is not evil, and there must be more to the story. There has to be a good reason as to why he stole the Fey Queen's magic pipe. So together with her friend Anna, Claire goes on this journey to the fairy realm to figure out what is actually going on. In order to succeed, she will basically have to dodge all the fairy traps and stay out of the evil Rat Prince's claws. And I don't know, it just seems very interesting to me, and I'm not too familiar with the Pied Piper, like the story of the Pied Piper, but I like the idea of it being a misunderstanding. I'm very excited about that. I really like, those type of retellings or twisty tales, and it's just, I'm really excited for it, not gonna lie. Next up, we have Venom and Vow by Anne-Marie McLemore and Elliot McLemore. And this one seems like such a roller coaster. Just listen to this. I will have to read it because there is no way I can explain it. So I'll read it. Cade McKenna is a transgender prince who's doubling for his brother. Valencia Palafox is a young dama attending the future queen of Eliana. Gail Palma is the infamous boy assassin Cade has vowed to protect. Patrick McKenna is the reluctant heir to a kingdom and the prince Gale has vowed to destroy. Kate doesn't know that Gale and Valencia are the same person. Valencia doesn't know that every time she thinks she's fighting Patrick, she's fighting Cade. And when Cade and Valencia blame each other for a devastating enchantment that takes both their families, neither of them realizes that they have far more dangerous enemies. Listen! There are so many things in this where I'm just like, wait, what? What? I feel like it's gonna be such a roller coaster, and I like the whole transgender representation, and I hope that it's done really well, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes, because from that I'm like, what? I don't have more to say about it. I'm lost for words. It's just so interesting to me that the way that this is introduced is like, oh, this person wants to destroy that person, but that person protects that person, but he doesn't know that that person is actually that person. I'm like, I'm bound to be confused, but I'm hoping that it is in the best possible way, if that makes any kind of sense. There is a good type of confusion and a bad type of confusion, and this one sounds like it could be both, but I'm obviously hoping for the good one. So next up we have Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb. This one I basically put on here because the romance that I think will be in this book kind of give me similar vibes to Roma and Juliet, in the sense that they are ex-lovers kind of forced to work together, and that is all I want. So we're basically following this rebel whose father has been murdered by the Obracian military, Obracia being the city that we're in, and she is basically willing to do whatever it takes to destroy the corrupt system. We also follow Damien, who is the youngest captain in the history of the Palazzo security. He is basically expected to be ruthless and be strong and have like an unquestioning devotion to the realm and to the gods and the saints. But after 3 years of fighting a never-ending war, he has scars deeper than they seem and a fear of confronting the girl he left behind, which is Rosanna. It just seems so great. And then there is this whole thing about a murderer showing up in the city. As you might have expected, they have to work together to kind of figure out who the fuck this person is and why they're doing these things. And it just gives me this like serious Romeo and Juliet vibes, and I'm just here for it. So the final one of my like top fives is called The Eagle and the Wolf, and it's by Alexandria Warwick. I don't have much information on this one yet, and it doesn't have a cover, but it is basically a Mulan retelling, and it is Mongolian inspired. We follow Altani, who is an eagle huntress who has to disguise herself as a male soldier in an enemy nation, and then she has to try and free her people from a tyrannic rule. And then this one got me. But an alluring dark air stands in her way. Fellow soldier he may be, but she can never forget that firstly, always, he is her enemy. Enemies to lovers, I am here for it! I can't. I'm so excited. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Unfortunately, I don't have more information on the whole plot line, but that was just enough to make me interested. So let's kind of semi-quickly go through the rest of them, so we're not both here forever. First up, we have Our Vengeful Souls by Christy McManus. This one is a Little Mermaid retelling. It is basically like a villain origin story, I feel, because we start out with this, her name is Soraya in this, and she's basically loved by everyone and overshadows her brother Triton. And then she's exiled for reasons that I don't quite remember, and I'm not sure if I even know. But she's exiled to Atlantis and has to, like, she's kind of forced to live on land. So yeah, it's kind of like, I expect it to be like a villain origin story, and it's Triton versus Ursula. Or Soraya. It just seems like super intriguing, and you know how I feel about retellings, and this one seemed really, really cool. Next up, we have Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. This one is kind of similar, with it being a siren that we're following. It is a siren working as an assassin. Our main character has like this impulse to kill that she's kind of trying to hold down, and I feel like that is so cool, because I kind of want a book with a character that is morally gray and does bad things, but isn't ashamed of it. She's just like, well, it needed to be done. And I want that, and I'm hoping that I will get that from this. And then stuff happens, and basically our main character ends up becoming the personal bodyguard of the prince. And I just feel like it's an enemies to lovers bound to happen. I mean, do we agree? Next up we have Ravel, or at least that's what I'm calling it, by Lissa Mia Smith. And this is a Moulin Rouge retelling. Now, I love Moulin Rouge. It is great, and I like it, and I like the vibes. So if all I'm getting from it is the vibes, I'm fine with it. It's good. In regards to like the romance in it, I feel like there's a lot of different tropes that from the summary I was like, okay, so that could be it, and that could be it, and that could be it. So we do have like a fake relationship thing. We also, I think, have a love triangle, and maybe also a forbidden romance. So there is a lot going on, and I'm excited to see where it goes. The place that it takes place is also described as like a fantastical show, so it kind of gives me Greatest Showman, obviously Moulin Rouge, circus, caraval, those kind of things. That is what I kind of associate with this book, and I'm hoping that I'm correct, because that would just be perfection. So fingers crossed. Next up we have God Killer, and obviously there is some mythology in this. It is not clear what type of mythology, because we don't know too much about the book yet. It is by Hannah Kaner, and I am excited. I actually do really like the cover, despite it not being, you know, what I normally like. So basically our main character is a female god killer, and I am here for it. We do have an unkillable god. It's kind of said that the only god that she has been unable to kill is this, I don't remember the name of it, but a god of lies, of white lies, or just lies in general, I don't remember. It seems that this god's life is tied to a little girl who's on the run, and I'm excited to see what that is. We also have another character who is on secret missions, and then he meets the god killer, and he has to keep all of his missions secret, which leads me to believe that they might have something to do with her. So I'm intrigued about this book, because I don't know much about it. It's all a bunch of speculation that I have. I hope that it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for it. Next up we have Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim, and this one got me straight away because it is a magic system based around spices. I love it when people like reinvent a magic, well, not reinvent a magic system, but kind of like takes magic and be like, okay, what can we base it on? There was one last year that was with tea. I haven't read it yet, but I have it. And I just like it when it's based on new things or different things. So the whole magic system being based around spices, I am here for it, and I'm so excited to see what the fuck is going on. We also probably have found family. That is at least what I'm gathering from the summary of it, and our main character is on a quest to stop her brother who has stolen some of the spice magic, and I feel like that sounds so cool. So cool. I kind of really like these books, and I can see that in like what I'm going for. I'm kind of going for like a sibling dynamic where they might not like each other all too much, or there is a rumor about the sibling and the other is trying to clear their name or see if it's true. So the whole one sibling being bad, one sibling being the main character, not necessarily good, but being the main character, it kind of intrigues me, and I want to dive more into that apparently, because I've noticed that a lot of books that I have picked for this list have some kind of sibling dynamic in it, and I like it. Next up we have Bloodguard by Cecil Robson. This is probably the book that I know the least about because we don't have much information, but basically what we know is that it has gladiator vibes, there are some epic battles, and a forbidden romance. And that's enough. That's enough for me to add it to my list of books that I really want to. Also, the cover is absolutely stunning, so yes, please. We're gonna be moving on because, as I said, I don't know much about this book. Next up we have Of Light and Shadow by Tanaz Bethina. In this we have a main character who is the leader of a group of bandits. It is inspired by 17th century India, and we probably have some enemies to lovers in this. And do I need to say more? We have a main character. Our female main character is the leader of a group of bandits. It's bound to have enemies to lovers. I mean, I can't. I'm so excited. Then we have Midnight Strikes by Siva Shanaz. This one is a book that features like a time loop. So basically our main character is at this ball, and then something happens. I think there might be a massacre or something. And then everyone dies, including herself, and then she wakes up hours before the ball, and then she is basically going through the same day over and over again and trying to figure out what is going on and why this is happening to her and everyone else. I'm so excited for this. I'm predicting that this will also have enemies to lovers, which is also why it's up there on my list. And the main character is the only one who remembers that this is a time loop, and I am very curious to know why she is the only one that remembers. If it's even something that is clarified in the book, I don't know, but I feel like it's strange. well, maybe not strange, because she wouldn't be the main character if you weren't different, but there should be a reason as to why she is the only one that remembers, and I want to know what that reason is. Then we have When You Wish Upon a Star by Elizabeth Lim. This is the next Twisted Tales, and I need to get on with them, honestly. This one sounds really cool, in my opinion. It does sound like it's going to be like the Blue Fairy origin story, and not have too much to do with Pinocchio, but still a little bit, but focusing more on the Blue Fairy. Once again, we have a sister dynamic where they don't really like each other all too much, and I'm excited to see more about that and kind of explore the fairies in this. Speaking of siblings, we have Unseelie by Evelise Hausman. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But in this we have twin sisters, very different. We have a professional rogue, and then we have a changeling. And I am so excited about this. It sounds so cool. We also have disability rep in this one, representing autism actually. And I haven't read a book with anyone autistic, I think. But it seems interesting, or it sounds like it's going to be done fairly well, but I can't comment on that. But I'm excited to see it nonetheless. We then follow these two twin sisters after a heist that has gone wrong. I am excited to see where it goes. Finally, for the ones that I actually have a cover to show you, we have Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This features like a magical competition. We have a revenge plot from one of our main characters who want revenge, obviously. Then we have found family and an unlikely romance, and that is perfection, in my opinion. Hopefully the unlikely romance also has like a bit of enemies to lovers, but just one or the other is fine with me. We have 2 books left with no covers. I'm gonna try and be quick. We have We Shall Be Monsters by Tara Sim. It is Indian mythology. We have, once again, sisters, and a plot line following a resurrection of said sister. It seems to be going wrong. Finally, we have This Dark Descent by Kaylin Josephson. We have Enchanted Horse Races, Juris Folklore, and An Unlikely Alliance. I am beyond excited. I haven't really read anything like that, so let me get on that. I am excited. That is basically all the 2023 releases so far that I'm excited for. I hope you maybe got some inspiration to what you want to add to your list. Please leave a comment telling me some of the 2023 releases you're excited for. Maybe it's some that has completely escaped my radar, so please let me know so I might be able to add them to my list. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It will mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!